Mary Lynn Halley and I went out to see Jerry Lee at the Big Texan to ask for a donation. And he said, hey, I've got an idea. You invite people to come and lip sync to their favorite song. Bring along a few celebrities. Give them a great dinner. Have them pay, of course, and a good time. And that was the beginning.
Opportunity School is really very special. You know, it's been in our community for 24 years. It's been providing little children from low-income families, preschool children, with a head start on school, with a jump on school, so when they get there, they might have some better attitudes. And can you not hear? I see a hand waving. They turned off the mic on me already. I'm going to talk a little faster then. Anyway, these children have gotten, well, by the time they get to regular school, they've got the right attitudes, and statistics have shown that this really does work. And the wonderful thing about it is that it's completely supported by you, by me, by our community, and I think that is really, really special. And the thing that makes it really neat is that it gives us an excuse to have a fundraiser. And if we had no excuse to have a fundraiser, we wouldn't be involved in the craziness that you're just about to see. So you have the Opportunity School children to thank for this evening of fun, and they have you to thank for your generous support. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alice Cooper. Welcome to Lips, but Not Lips.
You know what I did for Lips? I was so enthralled with Tina Turner that was my favorite artist, so I chose her. I thought this was going to be a one-time deal, you know, so I left nothing on the floor when I left Lips that year. And then they came back with it for a second year and a third year, and I think I was in about 5 different Lips through the years. And, you know, it takes its toll. And I think through the years, I not only had the fringe dress, which was so authentic for Tina Turner, that I was able to bring in another stick, which was my boa. And I think I either used this around, I don't know if it got made it on the stage or not, but I sure liked working with it. I enjoyed the boa, and sometimes when my friends come to the house, I bring it out, you know, for a little entertainment.
And maybe the only thing more fun than attending Lips is performing in Lips. And my first appearance was as Dolly Parton. And I borrowed a sequin dress from Tina Aikman, and I wanted to wear that today, but I was afraid I'd get arrested on the way over here. My kids, who were little then, I asked permission from them to shave my mustache, and they would not allow that. So I went on as Dolly Parton without shaving my mustache or my legs.
One of the funniest acts I remember that, you know, Phil Woodall, if I see him today, I'll tell him, you have no talent. But he got up there and he plays the song, How Sexy Is My Body, and he would just walk back and forth. He had on these, you know, the football shorts that we had our coaches wearing when we were growing up. He had on, they were so tight, and he had on a T-shirt that was way too tight, and he would just walk, and he was a pretty good sized guy then, and he was real popular as a judge, and man, they were laughing at him going back and forth. And here I worked on this dance and memorizing the lip sync, and he did nothing but walk back and forth, and he stole the show. So it just goes to show you.
Is there anything that ever went wrong in Lips? Well, wrong's such a big word. There were some moments that we had things. There was always challenges in costumes. I remember Toby Cox was doing Carmen Miranda, I think it was, and his balloons kept falling. Patty Lou Dawkins was doing it was always in the Grand Plaza way back when. And you know, they had that big fountain, which that now has been filled in, but they'd run that water. And they'd shut it off when we do, well, Patty Lou fell into the fountain, stepped off into where the water would collect.
So like the one year when we did Steve Martin and King Tut, I was telling you about Mark Erickson, the saxophone player. When he came out of the sarcophagus, there's a point where there's a saxophone solo, and he was really jamming on the saxophone. Of course, he's dressed like an Egyptian, comes out of that sarcophagus, and then goes around and he puts his foot up on the drummer's cymbals and knocks all the drum set over with his feet. And it just brought, I mean, people were just dying laughing. The funniest parts are the unplanned parts.
Chuck, through the years in Melody, a lot of times had some of the shows that acts were possibly going to cancel. And Chuck was a little bit nervous, are we going to have enough? And so I always brought these shoes. I was a old-time tap dancer, and I would practice in between our rehearsals, and Chuck would look and go, yeah, man, we got it, you know, if we need you, well, you can lay that out, because, I mean, since 4th grade, Lawrence Welk, I saw the guy up there tap dancing, and I told my mom, I want to do that, you know, so, I mean, I started taking tap in 4th grade, man.
Shannon was always so helpful with the prop man, getting all the different props on and off the stage. There were some groups we'd say, please, not too many props. It's a lot to handle, you know, and it's just, we only have one little dress rehearsal, and then we go. Some groups just couldn't help themselves. You know, there's 30 different things that are coming in and coming off, and it was part of the gag and part of the fun of it. So sometimes Shannon really had his work cut out for him. We'll have the same groups year after year participate in LIPS, and I think the reason why, especially for businesses who always come in and do a sponsorship and then have a group from the business put together an act, and this is something I learned as a young girl in theater. When you do something like that on stage with other people that you might not have known that well before, and you kind of go through that process and that experience together, it's nerve-wracking, it's fun. That group of people that you do that together with, you are forever bonded no matter what. You have like this incredible special memory with them that you did this crazy thing that one time.
My first experience with karaoke in Amarillo, there's about 5 of the bigwig political folks of Amarillo in this thing at that time. I first saw all these people in drag. Well, Hunter and I were in 3 of them. I don't remember what we did for the first one. For the second one, we did something with Willie Nelson, and I stood on my head. And for the third one, we did Fun at the Bus Stop. Are you wearing goloshes? And the other guy says, no, it's sunny outside. He says, I'm wearing goloshes.
In 1997, I was in a performance for LIPS with Lilia Escajeda. My sister, Priscilla, at that time was Lucero, now Arias, and another young lady that worked at Amarillo National Bank. And so we did a performance of Gloria Estefan. The song we did was called Puertas Abiertos, which means open doors. And it was just a fun Latin song. And, you know, we danced on stage, and we just had a really good time. Here, now I'm just like mind blown. I'm like, I didn't realize at the time what I was doing, what an incredible organization was being benefited. Now I look back and I feel honored that I got to be a part of that history.
When I first participated in LIPS, it was when I was working with the Street Auto Group, and they had done it a couple of years before, and I've seen some of the tapes, and oh man, it looks just like so much fun, and you know, an opportunity to go on stage and make a fool of yourself and be applauded for it, you know, is just something that you can't pass up, you know. First with United Way, we did a Jackson 5 song, and then last year was our biggest and best one, I think. We did a Beatles Come Together, which it was so amazing because the way it portrayed, yes, United Way, like we want to bring people together, and just the song and the way we did it, it was just so, it helped both of us. It helped United Way and it helped Opportunity School. So it was a unique situation that was able to blend together very, very well. So it started with the old school, nice Beatles version, And then we had this other 4 or 5 employees over here with, grunged out rock and roll type of song. It was really fun. And then at the end, we came together and we sung together. It was really cool. If you ever want to hate a song, do it for Lips, because you listen to it so much that you're like, I never want to hear this song again in my life.
We went maybe in like 2015 and saw the Bellas perform. It was another group of friends. They did a skit from Pitch Perfect. And we just saw how much fun that they had afterwards, and it was a really good skit. And so afterwards we just looked at each other at the table and we were like, I want to do that. So we called up a couple girlfriends and had them join our squad, and that's how we became the Swifties.
And also the tutu. I had the tutu. So, if you've got the tutu, you should definitely have a chance to wear it. So here it is in all of its puffy glory. And, I was just out there shaking it in my tutu. It was a lot of fun.
We act ridiculous, and I always say, it's not Lips unless someone has cross-dressed.
We had a duo act last year that was Sunny and Cher, and there was the costumes were gender reversal, and they were just hamming it up to the fullest. They were elbowing each other, they were walking around each other in circles, and you could just tell that when they got on stage, they were having so much fun, and that character was just played up to the max, and yeah, there was definitely some vying for the attention of the crowd in that act. That live audience brings it out in people.
That's one of my favorite things about Lips, is it's something that you can bring in people who really might not know much about Opportunity School or have heard about it, but they haven't really participated significantly. And they can come in and they can have a really fun evening. They can participate in a silent auction. They can watch the show. And then they really get to watch the spill of why we do what we do. And those videos are always my favorite part of the fundraiser itself, because it's where it all kind of comes together for me.
And if you can give people a good time as well as raise some funds for a good organization, it's a double whammy.
Okay, so our act, we had our costumes, it was 2018, and we had these real fun costumes with a bunch of like teenager adults, and we were just dancing, and we did some tumbling because we're gymnasts.
It was fun to rehearse all the things, and we did a really cool song. It was a little different than like most of the songs today, and yes, we did get to tumble, which was really fun too. So.
Well, I mean, it's good that at such a young age we can be involved with the community, and it's cool for us because, I mean, since we're so young, we can still make a difference in people's lives. That felt inspirational.
The director called me and said, your group had to cancel. They can't do it. So my sister and I saying, well, we can't just not have somebody. We are going to step in. So literally the week before that show, the two of us stepped in and we did a song from The Parent Trap. Several years later, we got together with a group of our friends, and that's when we started with the Bellas, and that was all kind of kicked off out of the movie Pitch Perfect, and we got together, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. The year that we did The Parent Trap, our mom was the finale in, they did Dancing Queen, and they were glitter and they just were so dramatic in all their movements. Our final year, it was the Bellas against The Greatest Showman. It was really fun, and my sister mashed up all these songs and put them all together and did all the choreography. So really, she deserves all the credit.
And rehearsal is all in front of one another. So that's kind of nice, because when we're all rehearsing and somebody might not have had quite enough practices to be ready, they can see kind of where everyone else is at and know, oh gosh, we got to get together and step up our game.
But one of the most fun things I've ever done was the entrance into the Lips performance and I got to be the Indian because I had a headdress. that my father-in-law had received from the Boy Scouts in some honor. And so I got to be the Indian, which was very fortunate because I had no dance steps and I could just stand and hold the microphone and wiggle a little bit, while the other members of the entourage had to do dance steps in their construction and Navy and all the village people regalia. But the entrance at that time, Lips, was in the Grand Plaza room at the Civic Center, which was brand new at the time. And without going on the theory it's better to ask forgiveness than permission, we decided that we would enter, that Billy Krause and I would make our entrance into Lips on his, in true Billy Krause form, his red Harley-Davidson motorcycle. And without anybody knowing we were coming, including the directors and I think the only people that knew were the village people, we come in the back door of the Grand Plaza room with that motorcycle roaring and ride to the stage. It was so much fun. And then we didn't even have to ask forgiveness. It went off well enough that we didn't crash or run over anybody.
We had such a great time last year. I think moving to the big stage at the Civic Center was a huge deal. It gave it that true performance feeling. It gave people the opportunity to be on a big stage in an auditorium that they've never had before. Maybe it left people wanting just enough more that next year these acts are going to come back with a renewed passion, a major gratitude for being in front of audiences and for having group events and for being able to fundraise in person the way that we've all missed so much in the last few months.